This is why everyone should learn basic first aid. Learning basic first aid can save lives, reduce the severity of injuries, and give individuals the confidence to jump in during emergencies. How do you feel when someone you know is sick? What does your body do when something bad happens? Well, my best friend was 14 years old when she went down and became unresponsive in the middle of a volleyball game. People started rushing over to see what was wrong. The first couple of people over to her had no idea what to even do, and even if they did, their minds were too scattered to even be able to jump into the action. Finally, someone came over and jumped into action, giving her CPR. Luckily, this saved her life. But without this, who knows what could have happened to her? Someone you know could be waiting for life-saving measures to be done to them one day. Today, I'd like to talk to you about first, how basic first aid can save lives. Second, it can reduce the severity of injuries, and finally, give most individuals the confidence to be able to jump into the emergency and help. I'll begin telling you about the basic first aid can save lives. More than likely, you will know someone in your life who needs life-saving measures. The problem is that they might not be around professionals when they need the life-saving measures, which means they would be relying on the people around them. Each year, EMS cares for more than 350,000 individuals in the United States experience non-traumatic out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. Approximately 90% of persons who experience an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest die. Annually, there are 356,461 people of any age that EMS deals with going into an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. This means in one day there will be about 1,000 people who go into cardiac arrest outside of a hospital. You can choose to learn any form of basic first aid, or you can learn all, but CPR saves lives all the time. Basic first aid is very important. This will be needed everywhere in the world. This isn't just necessary in one place where basic first aid is necessary. The incidence of EMS assessed non-traumatic OSHA in people of age estimated to be 356,461, or nearly 1,000 people each day. The sad part is that 65% of people in the United States say that they've received CPR training at some point in their lives, but only 18% of people are up to date on their training. The following poem by the anonymous writer, titled Emotional First Aid, shows the importance of first aid. Does anyone know the competition for emotional debts unpaid? Does anyone know the tourniquet for an emotional first aid? Who makes the rules about emotions that should be displayed? The scales of my thoughts feel these things must be weighed. These questions left unanswered could lead to rot and jade, perhaps. The most difficult is realizing emotions have been played. I'm sure you can see how it is important for people to have basic first aid training to save lives. Although people may be willing to learn CPR or already know it, there's more to basic first aid skills. Having basic first aid training and knowledge can reduce the severity of injuries, and I'm going to tell you how that's possible. This is how the basic first aid can help reduce the severity of injuries. First off, different ways you can be trained on treating different injuries to not be so severe. You will be prepared for almost any situation on what you can do to help. If you're unable to help in the situation, you will have the knowledge to be able to walk someone through the things that need to be done. There are multiple benefits to having basic first aid training, along with the minimizing the severity of injuries. Timely interventions such as a wound cleaning, bandaging, and immobilization can prevent further damage, facilitate faster healing. Early interventions can prevent long-term complications and promote a smoother recovery tragedy. You can see that the importance of needing basic first aid training. Now let's look over what could happen if you could choose to get certified or not become certified. Basic first aid training gives individuals the confidence to jump in during emergencies. If you do take basic first aid training, you can become more confident into jumping into any emergency you come along. Anyone you help will be grateful that you will be willing to jump in to do what it looked to save their lives. They wouldn't be the only ones who would be there, so thankful to have someone so confident in skills to help. Their families would be able to thank you enough for saving someone they love so much. Just imagine one of your family members needing the help out in public and there was no medical professionals around, but one person had basic first aid training. Would you want them to have the confidence to jump in and save your loved one? Yes, you would. So getting the training would help you save someone else's family member. The problem arises when you say you would help someone you don't have the training to do it, or don't stay updated with it, so you lose your confidence. Then you have the potential to use these skills, but don't just because you're too scared. The consequences of this are someone could lose their life or be seriously injured if you're not willing to jump in. As you can easily see, becoming basic first aid certified could be the one of the most important decisions you ever make and give you a lot of confidence. I've told you how basic first aid can save lives, reduce the severity of injuries, and finally how it can give individuals the confidence to jump into emergency situations. You can become certified by going to the American Red Cross website and finding the classes that are nearest to you and sign up and obtaining your certification card. What if the person needing life-saving measures was someone you loved? Imagine if you were in a store, someone fell over, you would be able to help them come back to life. Think of the satisfaction and the possible comfort that could come for the person that you did that. I'm going to leave you with the honest words from an anonymous story from the British Red Cross in 2021 about someone saving their co-worker from a heart attack. Without the first aid skills I learned, I don't know if I would have been so level-headed when this has happened.